shifting our focus to the tenuous state of Manipur, where a school has been torched. One person hurt in fresh Manipur gunfight. I'm just reading various, top headlines, Pankaj. Tensions rise again. A woman hit by a bullet. Want justice, says freedom fighter's son, who tells the Prime Minister that he wants justice. Manipuris continue to leave Mizoram. Manipur natives continue to leave Mizoram in droves on during the weekend after threats by an organization of former insurgents asking them to depart for their own safety. Over 200 people left, over 13,000 displaced in general, Pankaj. In terms of the arrests that have been made in that May 4th case, one more, 6 people arrested so far, including a minor in that case. What is it that you're picking up? The parliament logjam persists. Opposition is continuing to insist on their demand of a statement by the Prime Minister. The government, on the other hand, doesn't want to relent. There is constitutional rules. There is, proceedings of, the parliament floor, those kind of rules. So many rules at disposal. The Chief Minister, people want him to step down. Some people don't want him to step down. What's really happening in Manipur?
Well, Kabir, whatever is transpiring, obviously, this is the non-intended consequences that are happening as of now. Why I call it non-intended? Because obviously the intent, it appears, was something else. See, the difference, the division between cookies and Meties, the hills and the valley has been going on in Manipur for a very, very long time. This government, when it came to power in 2014, appointed a particular minister, a dedicated minister to take care of the northeast situation, including Manipur, including that of Assam, Nagaland, and other parts, the Seven Sisters. But what happened here as of now, why it got aggravated, because all we know from the May 3, May 4 incidents that happened and giving the scheduled tribe status to the Metis, that was the trigger. But what was the government doing there? So they thought that maybe in such a scenario, what it appears as of now from the body language, from the actions or the inactions of the state government of N. Biren Singh, it looks like they wanted maybe in order to, score some points there and let these two communities have their way. And what came out was something that they were not even expecting, that it will blow out of proportion, it will come to such blows. Initially, there are reports that the number of weapons, you would be surprised, Kabir, that are in circulation as of now. And there is a clear demarcation also. There are studies and reports that 70% of the weapons which are looted from the government armory and police stations is with this particular group, 30% are with this. When they know who has got what weapons, the two questions that arise. First, who gave them the weapons? Did they manage to loot all of them? What were the weapons for? Why didn't the police use those weapons? Maybe in self-defense. Secondly, what are they doing to get them back? So all these things, point to something which is not right. Talking about the latest, what you mentioned, even all the newspapers, if you take a look at it, let's start with the Nav Bharat Times. Mizoram ne bharosa diya, phir bhi Meitei ghar chhod rahe. Now, this aspect is also pretty much happening. Mizoram say
there's another aspect at play, Pankaj. There's another aspect at play. I mean, throw some light on this as well. After that first zero FIR that came to light, after the May 4 incident, it seems like there's this registration of scores of zero FIRs now. So the Manipuri police is looking at an uphill task in the sense that now they have scores of zero FIRs. Now, what is a zero FIR? You can basically file an FIR. It doesn't matter where you're from, what place is this that you're filing this FIR. Jurisdiction essentially goes, out of the window. Once the FIR has been registered, then the police gets in touch with the, the relevant authority and the relevant jurisdiction, police station, and then they carry out the investigation. Scores of, zero FIRs, Pankaj.
Right, you're right. Indian Express has got this as the lead. In Manipur, a fresh challenge for police scores of zero FIRs. Let me quickly read it out for those who have missed the morning headlines. Hundreds of zero FIRs registered in police stations across Manipur, and the stalled investigations in these cases are among key challenges the state police is facing. A zero FIR can be filed at any police station by a complainant, regardless of their place of residence or location or occurrence of crime. Afterwards, it is transferred to the relevant police station for investigation. The objective is to aid victims in getting complaint registered without running from pillar to post. Now, This particular aspect is a key uh, responsibility area, if I may say so, of the police, of the local administration. As of now, there are, as we speak, security forces, central security forces, armed forces. They have been deployed in Manipur. Now, for anyone, and this is, Kabir, the best or the worst part, I would say, as far as, scouting for information is concerned from Manipur, they are 1 or 2 days late. Okay, they are not immediate, and these publications also, and especially in the visual medium also, uh, the information that comes in is obviously, has a background context to it, and is not something that has happened very immediately. So now these concepts of zero FIR, remember, 2 months old video when it surfaced, obviously there must have been something going on there. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो लोग उससे प्रताड़ित थे, जो लोग उन पर, जिन लोग उससे आहत हुए उस दिन 4 मई के पूरे इंसिडेंट से, they wouldn't have done anything. They would have. But the thing is, when it comes to zero FIRs, obviously, so people started, going helter skelter. जहां जिसको सहूलियत हुई, सुविधा मिली, जहां जिसको चोट पहुंची थी, वहां जाके उन्होंने पुलिस से बात की. So zero FIR का concept, it must have come into circulation earlier, and now for police, there are so many of them. For them to attend to it, obviously, because attempting is not the issue, accountability is the issue. When NCW was cornered, saying that there were 3 complaints written to them in the month of May, did they take into consideration or not? They simply said they did not receive the application. So,
Right.
likewise, in this case also, any person who is registering an FIR is
No,
basically making a government
you're
entry.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right because this looks like a situation where even when things get okay, it will leave a bad taste, a lingering bad taste afterwards because people will have to keep on looking back to these FIRs. I mean, and this could just be the tip of the iceberg. That video, that abhorrent, gut wrenching video, could also be just the tip of the iceberg. Nobody knows. We're also going to talk about how voices of dissent are, propping up across the nation from Shillong, Nagaland. You've got, a protest that took place in Kerala as well. And we'll also talk about the politics because Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, he's talking about a quote-unquote RSS agenda that is turning this state into a writing state. This coming in from the Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan himself. And I understand that's a left versus BJP tussle in his own state as well, even as the BJP tries to woo the Muslim vote bank in the state of Kerala. But take a look at this. I'm quoting this from the Hindu newspaper. Pankaj, it says, Imphal-based COCOMI, an umbrella body of Imphal Valley-based civil society organizations, have written to the European Parliament on its Manipur resolution. It has asked the European Parliament not to let Manipur become the new golden triangle of drug trade by projecting the violence between what it called immigrant Chin-Kuki narco-terrorists and the indigenous Metis people in the state as a religious conflict. So now the COCOMI has written to the European Parliament, something that, the entire Ministry of External Affairs and the Foreign Affairs policy had, come down heavily on, was that firstly, why are you talking about Manipur? This is our internal matter. And secondly, even when you're debating about Manipur, don't make this a simple Hindu versus Christian affair because there are a lot of socio-ethnic fault lines at play. Now COCOMI, the umbrella body of civil society organizations, has written back to the European Parliament. Do you think they really wanted to write back to the European Parliament? Is there some pressure, politics at play here? I mean, help us decode this particular move by COCOMI.
See, for COCOMI, obviously, as of now, in this whole conflagration of ideas and events that is happening, obviously, roping in any particular or individual international body could or could not change the course of this whole, developments, because it also impinges upon the identity of India as a secular state, identity of India as a nation which not just respects but also accommodates all the minorities also, which has been the case, which has been projected also, which has been spoken time and again also. Now, we have seen the internal dynamics. Parliament is not able to function. That is another sort of buffoonery is going on there, because who will blink first is the question. And in the name of कि जवाब कौन देगा, हम देंगे, तुम दोगे, हम देंगे, तुम दोगे, नहीं प्रधानमंत्री देंगे, नहीं होम मिनिस्टर देंगे. I remember, I'm forgetting the name, Mr. Bandyopadhyay, one of the Hindi laureates, who is credited to have been writing sonnets in Hindi or in a local language. When we talk about sonnets, we talk about Shakespearean sonnets, but India too had a writer, Mr. Bandyopadhyay. I'm forgetting his first name. He wrote कि मेरे रक्त भरे महाकाव्यों के पन्ने उड़ते हैं तुम्हारे हमारे इस झमेले में. Now, what is happening in Manipur is bloody, is unfortunate, is gut-wrenching, is killing people. And here in Delhi, we are fighting that who would respond to it. Who would? प्रधानमंत्री से जवाब चाहिए, होम मिनिस्टर से जवाब चाहिए.
There is a silver lining here, Pankaj. I mean, those were some beautiful words, and of course, there are a couple of poets who've left us with the right kind of idioms and words that do describe the situation right now in Manipur. But the silver lining here, Pankaj, from Patna, Lucknow, Ranchi, you name it, you've got these protest visuals that stand in solidarity with the people who have lost their loved ones in Manipur. From Patna, Lucknow, Ranchi, Siliguri, Nagaland, you name it. And what does this mean for Zoram Thanga, who also faces elections very soon, even as people, the Metis community, it seems, has started leaving from Mizoram upon these so-called threats. What does this mean for Zoram Thanga is also going to be a big question. Like you pointed out, the parliament logjam is far from over, and the opposition is stern on its demand of a statement by the Prime Minister, even as the government says that we will talk about it, but niyamon ke aadhar par, let's not forget about that there are some rules of the parliament which have to be followed as well.